Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show for just the NXT Ring Report. As you see right here, here is the lineup of what's going to happen tonight on NXT. The NXT Women's Championship is on the line. Lola Vice defends the gold against Izzi Dame. Can Izzi Dame win the NXT Women's Championship? Izzi Dame has been a thorn in the side of the champion Lola Vice. Can Lola bounce back and retain her championship and her championship defense against a dangerous challenger like Izzy Dane? Talk about it coming up. Speaking of that, Kalani Jordan will be in action against Ren Sinclair. Kalani Jordan goes one-on-one against Ren Sinclair. This might lead to a number one contendership match. You never know. Also, too, Miss Parker, Jada Parker taking on the debut of Layla Diggs. You see Layla Diggs, she's a certain somebody, a pop star that we all know. We'll talk about it coming up. Also, too, Over the Mud, those major tag team match against the Calling. They go against one another tonight. Well, as this right here, Essential Shallow Hill will be in action. He takes on Charlie Dempsey one-on-one. Well, as this right here, the speed tournament. As we see Nathan Frazier returns to NXT to face Romeo Moreno in a speed tournament match. Let's see who's getting the upper hand. As well as another speed tournament match as Sean Legacy Bear and Dorian Van Dutch battle in the speed tournament match. Plus, get to this right here. Is the UFC prepared for this having a fight field at the White House of all places? That's where it's gonna happen. Never will imagine it, but it's going to happen. We talk about it right here, right now on the Pro Wrestling Show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you joined us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. Man, Pro Wrestling Show. We tell you this, we're gonna have a lot, so let's not waste no time whatsoever. Let's get things started with this. Kalani Jordan, see right here. Kalani Jordan. I'm gonna show you Kalani. Kalani Jordan was in action. Kalani was in action. Kalani was in action tonight. Kalani Jordan kicking off the show. The beautiful, dangerous Kalani Jordan was in action against Ren Sinclair. Kalani showed Ren a thing or two. Kalani won her match over Ren. This might put her in contention for a shot. Chip could see that being a a, a play going down. We'll see how this is gonna go eventually. But you can tell right here, Kalani Jordan building herself and building her momentum as a late. So Kalani won her match. Did so tonight over the expense of Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair might have to get some more little experience at the loser Kalani Jordan against Ren feeling on her leg. Ren took a heck of a beating on her leg. Tell her that Ren Sinclair um, taking what she had thought um, and stuff that she did. So I think Ren's gonna have to get herself together. Yeah, saw right there, Ren Sinclair losing to Kalani Jordan getting the win over Ren Sinclair. So you saw that how that's gonna go. Kalani Jordan making her moves, making her stops to what she got to do to win. All right, go on to another match right here. Go on to why Dark State did what they did. Dark State now short of a member And what Dark State did, Dark State got rid of Shaquan Sorgers. They kicked him out the group. It was kind of a little bit. I want to show you that right quick. We showed you that last week when Shaquan got kicked out the group by Dark State after that tag team match that Deion Lennox and Shaquan couldn't coexist, and Shaquan got kicked out the group. Dark State kicked him out the group, as you see right here. Don't know when this was all planned out, when this was all happening, but Shaquan got kicked out the group, and we got an inside look, inside deep dive on why Dark State did what they did to Shaquan and kicked him out the group. Dark State saying that Shaquan was the only thing by himself, not for the group, and not for the group's purpose and stuff. And Dark State let it known that they don't need Shaquan. They're gonna eventually kick. They eventually gonna win some gold. And they're gonna start doing that next week. But on the road to gold next week, they're gonna go against Miles Bourne, Tavion Heights. They attacked Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights. Dark State not wasting no time whatsoever, doing what they did to Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne. I don't know why Dark State did that, but Dark State did it for a purpose and did it for a reason. They're trying to reestablish themselves as heels again without Saquon in the mix. So Saquon might have to realize that he got kicked out of the group. And Saquon probably got to get himself together. But we saw at the end Saquon did show his face at the end, and Saquon is looking like he's going to come back, get some measure of revenge on Dark State on what they did. And Dark State better watch out. I can tell you that Saquon's coming. Saquon's going to be coming back with full force. I can tell you that right now. All right, we can move on to another match right here on our right here. Sean Legacy taking on got his name. Let me show his name. Show you Dorian Van Ducks in a speed tournament match. Sean Legacy won his match. Let me show you Sean. I can show you Sean Legacy. Okay, there you go. Sean Legacy versus Dorian Van Dutch. What match that was. Sean Legacy won. Sean Legacy advances on over Dorian. We saw how that went down tonight. Also, too, we saw a lot of matches and stuff that were pivotal. So Sean Legacy won his match. Speaking of that, Miss Jada Parker was in action. Jada Parker went against the singing sensation that wants to be Beyonce. Went against her. It looks like she won that. Miss Parker won her match over Layla Rams or something. Well, roll up. As you see Natalia right there watching. Natalia trying to keep a real close eye on Layla. She's in Layla's corner. But Natty wasn't having none of it. Natty still have her feud with Miss Parker, Jada Parker. This feud is far from over between these two women. I can tell you that right now. Looks like we haven't seen the last of that. So we're gonna see these two women, probably Natty and Jada Parker, meet probably in an underground match or something. How they're gonna sell their differences and stuff as well. Plus, also, Shallow Hill was in action. Shallow Hill, the essential one. Shallow Hill won his match tonight. Shallow getting the victory. Shallow. Hill No, very, very hot. It's all right here. It's all what Shiloh did. All right. Oh, well, mm. That's all Shiloh going match night. But he got interrupted by Tristan Angels. Tristan Angels coming out there. Um, telling Shiloh that Mr. NXT. Tristan challenged Charlotte to a Mr. NXT beauty contest. I don't know what the hell is this beauty contest doing with that. Like a Beauty and the Beast. I guess because Shiloh looks like a beast and Tristan looks more like the beauty. I mean, Tristan's handsome and stuff, but we don't know what he's getting at. Kind of like you got to watch out. Shiloh's might pull this one out and make Tristan look bad. Never know. But we'll see what kind of matches, what kind of contest this is, a beauty contest, a Mr. NXT elegance contest, something. We'll see. Well, speaking of that, OTM was scheduled to meet the Colin. They got Colin all right. They got taken out by return with chair shot. We don't know what's going on with that. Now this is going to go down, but the Colin leading the foundation, leading the way on what they got going on, especially Sean Spears. What's he got going? Sean Spears been a maniac all his life. So we'll see. Speaking of that, we go to this right here. Romeo Marino won his match over Nathan Frazier. Romeo pinned Nathan Frazier to get the 1-2-3. Romeo pinned Nathan Frazier with a roll up right here. I want to show you that roll up. Leave out. One, two, three. Wins. Looks like all right. We said a lot of people are showing up on NXT. Even Evil showing up. won his match, but even might want a shot at the NFC Championship. Mason Rook and a lot of people showing up out of the blue want to get a shot at the NFC title. And it looks like Tony D'Angelo is a big fish in a small pond. But some of these people are coming. D'Angelo probably had to get his ducks on the road. He wants to compete. Mm, Tony D'Angelo might have to do that. But we know next week Tony D'Angelo will have a championship defense. Next week he'll defend the NXT title against Cam Hendricks. So we'll see that match right here. Tony D'Angelo defending against Cam Hendricks for the NXT title. Well, we know that's going to be an easy match for him, but we'll see next week. Now we get to the main event. The main event was for the coveted NXT Women's Championship as Izzi Dame challenging Lola Vice, the rope shaking diva. Lola Vice defends her title against Izzi Dame, and Lola Vice throughout the whole entire match was at the defense. Izzi Dame, we thought she was gonna win the title, but Lola Vice came out of nowhere and hit that move, that kicking move, and got the 1-2-3. And Lola Vice shaking her rump, and I mean she shook her rump to retain her title. And Lola Vice did so over Izzi Dame. So Izzi Dame has to go back in the line once again for what she had got going. So we saw that tonight. All right, that's going to do it for the NXT Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Like you said, I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, and so long. Thanks for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. Let's move over to Wrestling Hot Topics right quick. Let's go to it right quick. We know next week on WWE TV on both Raw and SmackDown will be the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments begin. So we'll see that next week. The King and the Ring and King and Queen tournaments begin. We'll see it next week on Raw. And then that. Speaking of that, is the White House hosting this right here, a UFC fight? We're hearing rumors and reports. We've been hearing about this since last year, and it's come to fruition. UFC on Paramount, they're going to bring UFC, America's 250th anniversary, to the White House for a spectacle. So you know the president got something to do with it. He loves fights, and you know he's going to be front and center for fights and stuff. We'll see that on all day. We'll see it, but this is the building the stage now. Why would they build right in front of the White House? Wow. All right, we'll see how this is going to go down. Here is a rundown of the matches coming up next week on NXT. Lizzie Rain taking on Zarya, and Lizzie Rain put some respect into Zarya. We'll see next week. Lizzie Rain taking on Zarya. Speaking of that, Dark State. Well, Shaquan Sanders will take on Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights. Can Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights work together like they did before to take down Dark State? We'll see. Into the NXT Championship is on the line. That's Tony D'Angelo versus Cam Hendricks. We'll see that match next week as well. All right. We're going to leave you here with the rump shaking Lola Vice, shaking her groove thing with her belts. Lola Vice did it over Izzi Dame and retained her NXT Women's title. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow for the AEW Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.